Alright, so for Mafia 3, I just want to point out that the game is amazing, okay? It's still fun. Like, one thing I loved is that you could collect real CDs from the time, like the Beatles, and, you know, the little side collections like Playboy and stuff. I really did enjoy that stuff, you know? One thing I will say is that could have been better is the point of getting the feel that that the Mafia is more involved in the story plot. Like, they're not even the main antagonists. They're just the main villains. And honestly, there's even side quests where you have to like kill KKK members with bags on their head and stuff, and you hear inward this on the street, and it's a little shame that they focused more on the racial slurs and the racism in this story. Like, I get it, you know, realism, but this is the point where I've made where graphics and realism is not, you know, supposed to be always accurate, you know? I feel like to make a game good, you need to make it what it's about. If you made a game called Dungeons and Dragons, but it's like a game like GTA where it's street gang war and shit, would that make sense to you? No, it wouldn't. That's what I feel like this game was failing at. It's called Mafia 3. You expect for the Mafia to be more involved. Now in Mafia 2, for those of you that's played it, you already obviously know that Mafia 2 was way involved with the mob. You worked with them, you've earned your rank up in the hierarchy, you've gained your power, and you are Vito Scaletta. And in this one, they just threw that all the way in the trash. They focused more on this black racism and stuff, and it was just it turned out to not be that good to me. Like, it was good to an extent. Like I said, I love the collections, and you know, I loved the missions because after a while they were fun in the beginning. But to be real with all of you guys, the game didn't have much to offer after the beginning of the game. Like, after your family died and the bar caught on fire, yes, there's spoilers. I think I spoiled this in the last video when I mentioned it, but fuck it. Anyway, in Mafia 3, the story really ends where your caretaker, your step-parent, whatever, I think he was your real dad or whatever, I don't know, but he owned a bar, and he ended up dying and shot in the head. And the mob called him an N-word and said, "You think we would work with you, yada yada yada." Anyways, when they killed him, the rest of the story is cutting throats, interrogating, stealing cars, or calling a car just to get across town because you get tired of running around. And on top of that, it takes forever to get past all the main like mafia mobster workers because you gotta cut throats and interrogate like 30 plus times just to get to the end of the game. And I have not beat the game yet. I still haven't, but what I will say is the game could have kept my interest a lot better. Like, I think where it failed at was where Godfather 2 didn't. Now, Mafia and Godfather are two different franchises, but they're both mobster games, and I'm not one of those basic ass gamers that play GTA and that's it. No, I venture out and play different street gang type games. But speaking of street gang, that's what this Mafia 3 is more like. Like, I feel like, you know, and I know I kind of trash talked it in the last video, and it sounds like I am now, but I'm just trying to help you guys understand where I'm coming from. But Mafia 3 was more like Saints Row or GTA and less about the mob. Like, it was more about you making your own gang with the Irish and the Haitians, which is factions in the game. And I felt like it drifted so far apart from getting that feel anymore, that vibe of, you know, the classic Mafia in the suit, running an empire. And that's what I really wanted, especially when they said Vito Scaletta was going to be one of your workers. And I found out what happened to Joe, and it sucks that he died. But anyway, what I will say is, after you do the side quests for him and other characters that you work with, it ends up getting boring to do side quests, really. And you know, there's not much to do in the world. Like, after you beat this type of game, it gets boring. I know the old ones did too, but at least the old ones was a good enough story to keep playing. Like, I beat Mafia 2 and Godfather 2. And now back to my point where I said that this failed where Godfather 2 didn't, is Godfather 2, if you guys ever played that one, I was actually, like, in the game, I was getting rackets, basically taking over businesses, destroying supplies, threatening them, showing them the view, which is like hanging them over a cliff. And like, I would get bosses at businesses like pawn shops and car dealerships to basically, you know, give me different perks from the rackets that I earned. Like, if I got all the car dealerships, then my car would have bulletproof windows and like armor shell plating around it. And like, if I got all the strip clubs, that'd give me brass knuckles, so that way when I'd punch a person to intimidate them to take their money flow, then that would bring extra intimidation if I used a brass knuckle on my fist. You know, also, you know, you could do all kinds of stuff. So Godfather 2 was really fun, you know, even though it was the same repetitive grinding playstyle that this was. The difference is between this and that one still kept my interest because it was about the mob, and the story and the game was still fun to play. And you know, I just feel like this one was a slap in the face to any mobster type game. Like if you're a fan of Mafia games and you like the original Mafia, Mafia 2, Godfather, Godfather 2, this is not really the feel for you. Like if you like the story and you wanted to continue it, this is not for you. I'd recommend this to people that are fresh and new to the Mafia type games. Maybe you'd enjoy this because you didn't get the experience from the original Mafias. But yes, Mafia 3 is a game I'd give probably a 6.5, maybe a 7 out of 10. I can't really say it right now at this point. I haven't beat it. But if the ending is as drawn out and boring as it is in the gameplay, then yeah, I'm gonna be disappointed, because then that'll tell me that they either got really lazy towards the end of this game and during the making of this game, or they just was really unfinished and really rushed this out really too soon, because I feel like this game could have had more potential. Like the customization options, now I know Mafia 2 didn't have much, but damn, like I feel like this is a new generation, so they could have kept what they had in Mafia 2 with a great storyline, and they had something going in the beginning of this game, but then they lacked later on in the story, and on top of that they lacked in customization and creativity, and the world sometimes gets boring to explore. I mean, yes, I pop it in every now and then and play a mission or two, but I can't interrogate people 24/7. Like an hour of this, then it gets boring. I used to could play like 2 or 3 hours, but I can't no more, because when I play Mafia 3, the only thing I do is collect Playboy, or I collect Beatles CDs and other musicians from the time, and it's a really fun game for that style, I'll say that much. The realism is on point, but that's the point where it drifted apart. Like they made it too much about racism and too much about this and that, and it's like they didn't even focus on mafia, the mob. Like that's all you do is kill mobsters all the time, the same way, cut their throats, stab them in the head. And you know, again, I may be trash talking a little bit, but you guys got to agree with me, those of you that's played this and those of you that haven't played it yet. Before buying this, if you've played Mafia 2, I would rent it to try it out. If you've played Mafia 2. If you haven't played the old Mafia, and this is your first one, and you're thinking, well, it's PS4, new gen, I might as well try this Mafia game, or Godfather, whatever, then I recommend, you know, well, not going to say buy it, because you know, you may not like it either, but rent it if you want. But like I said, I think this would be more enjoying for those of you that haven't played the original Mafia 2, because Mafia 2 was way better, and honestly, I feel like this one was just a whole different game in general, and I get that feel from it. So, you know, I know you guys may disagree, but that's all I can say about that. And sometimes, you know, the game is really glitchy and buggy. I will warn you of that for those of you that haven't played it yet. The game does have a few bugs and glitches. Now, they have had a few updates to fix some of them, but you know, there's still just a few in there, so it's not as bad, to be honest. I mean, every game has bugs and glitches, you know, you're not going to escape it. That's the reality. But what I will say is, after the few updates, they did improve on that, because I played it, the last time I played this, guys, was about 4 days ago, and I played it about an hour and a half, yeah, and the game seems pretty smooth and well balanced. It doesn't seem so crashy or buggy on my console. I can't speak for everyone, obviously. I don't like to speak for anyone, because everyone treats their console different, and everyone, you know, cleans it different and at different times. I clean mine every like few months, like 3-4 months. But anyway, Mafia 3, I did get the season pass, and will I be doing a review of the DLC? No, not really. Will I be doing it for my channel? Probably not, because I was disappointed that all the cutscenes were muted, and even though my fans didn't mind, I know that a lot of you would have rather have heard the sound. Like, if you had the option of your own, I know you guys would have chose to hear sound, and that really bums me out that you guys couldn't hear what I heard. So, yes, it was killing me inside. So, yeah, I won't be doing this for my channel, because if you guys can't enjoy it, then I'm not going to just let you sit there and mute gameplay. That's retarded. You know, fuck 2K for doing that. I get that there's copyright issues and music signed and all that, but fuck that. You know, I wanted you guys to enjoy this with me, and they ruined that moment. So I'm not going to take the chance of getting the DLC and then them saying, well, this is muted too. So fuck that. No, I'm not going to put you through that. But yeah, I just want to let you know I did get the season pass. So I did expect a little bit of good content. Right now all I've gotten is a free DLC pack, and I'm waiting for some other DLC to come out. And will I do an update review? Yes. If you leave a like, of course I will. You know, I feel like this game, you know, like I said before, it has potential if they keep adding DLC. Now I know they've already announced the DLC they're adding, but who knows, they could surprise us with some extra content. I mean, remember Destiny when that came out and there was only 2 packs for that? And a $35 season pass. Turns out there's the Taken King now. Fucking what else? I don't know, I don't play Destiny anymore. There was another one after that. But anyway, yeah, like there's all kinds of shit. So guys, yeah, the Iron something. Anyway, yeah, it's like that, guys. Who knows? They could add more. Don't doubt it just because that's what they said. That's all they said so far is just what they're adding. So they're gonna add a Vietnam-based war mission where this DLC explains what happened during the events of Vietnam while he was out there. So that's gonna be cool. And then there's going to be some other DLC, and I feel like I'm excited for the DLC. And I really do hope that you guys, you know, try this game out, because yes, it's worth trying. At the end of the day, it was a really good game, and I don't see why you would hate on it or anything. I know I sound like I trash talk it sometimes, but honestly, I mean well. I just wanted to give you guys a review and a heads up so that way you don't walk into a mistake either, and this way, you know, we're all happy. So yes, that's my opinion. Rent it before buying it, because it's one of those games that I can't promise you that or guarantee you that will be good. But if you think it looks good and you think it'd be a good game just to pass time by because you're tired of like multiplayer games, I don't know, then yes, this is still a good single player game in general. So yeah, guys, that's all I can really say for now. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like. Comment down below if you agreed with what I had to say, or if you've played the game, give me your opinion on how you feel about the game in the comments down below. But as always, guys, Twitter, Instagram links in the description below. As always, hope you enjoyed. XO out.